The angel who measures the earth. We're told the great wonders of the ancient world were built with primitive tools. It's easy to picture thousands of laborers toiling under a brutal sun, dragging massive stones with little more than rope and raw strength. But what if that's only part of the story? What if the blueprints for creation itself were handed down to humanity? A fascinating ancient text, the Book of Enoch, tells the story of a mysterious angel on a monumental mission to measure the entire cosmos. So were these divine measurements a form of sacred geometry, a spiritual map of the universe? Or were they something more, a lost form of advanced technology that laid the very foundation of our world? Today, we're investigating the angel who measured the earth and uncovering a secret that could rewrite history as we know it. Section 1. The Cosmic Surveyor. To get to the bottom of this, we have to start with the source, the Book of Enoch. Ascribed to Noah's great-grandfather, this ancient Jewish text is a wild collection of revelations and journeys into the heavens. While it's still considered canonical scripture by the Ethiopian and Eritrean Orthodox churches, it never made it into most other Bibles. The reasons are complex and tied to ancient theological debates, but its exclusion has only added to its mystique, making it a source of forbidden knowledge for centuries. The book follows Enoch's travels through the cosmos, guided by angels who spill the secrets of creation. One angel, Uriel, shows Enoch everything from the storehouses of the winds to the portals of the stars. Enoch writes that he saw angels with measuring cords, tasked with surveying the foundations of the world. This wasn't just a casual look around. These measurements were part of a divine plan, a method for establishing cosmic order. Now this is where it gets even more interesting. In later mystical texts, specifically the third book of Enoch, this cosmic surveyor is identified as the archangel Metatron. According to these traditions, Metatron was once the mortal Enoch himself, who walked with God and was taken from earth without dying. In the heavens, he was transformed into a celestial being of immense power, a scribe who records all human deeds and understands the universe's deepest secrets. He's described as having a stature matching the world in length and breadth, with dozens of wings and thousands of eyes, symbolizing his near omniscience. As the lesser YHWH, Metatron is a kind of divine architect, holding the very measurements by which heaven and earth were made. But what exactly were these measurements? Section 2. The Divine Blueprint. A Sacred Geometry. This is where the mystery really takes a turn. The angel's work wasn't just about cataloging stars. The measurements were a language, and one of the most compelling interpretations is that this language was sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is the idea that certain shapes and proportions have a divine, universal meaning. It suggests that God is the great architect of the universe and that the mathematical rules of creation are everywhere. From a galaxy's spiral to a flower's petals, from a crystal's structure to the molecules in our DNA. Ancient cultures all over the world seem to get this. The Egyptians oriented their pyramids with incredible astronomical precision. The Vedic texts of ancient India, known as the Sulba Sutras, contain detailed geometric instructions for building ritual altars. And the Greek philosopher Plato linked 5 perfect 3D shapes, the Platonic solids, to the fundamental elements of the cosmos. This idea of divine measurement shows up in other sacred texts too. The Book of Revelation describes an angel measuring the New Jerusalem with a golden reed. The city is a perfect cube, about 1,400 to 1,500 miles long, wide, and high, with walls 144 cubits thick. These numbers are dripping with symbolism. 12 for the tribes of Israel and the apostles, and 144, 12 times 12, signifying divine completion. So could the measurements in the Book of Enoch be part of this same tradition? Some researchers think so. Authors like Richard Heath have proposed that this knowledge was given to humanity by a higher intelligence, that proportions like the golden ratio and patterns like the flower of life were a divine inheritance. In this view, the measuring angel wasn't just taking notes. He was revealing the universe's harmonic code, a spiritual blueprint for how all of reality fits together. It's worth pointing out that while geometric patterns are common in nature, mainstream scholarship is skeptical, noting there's no definitive proof that ancient builders universally used concepts like the golden ratio, as some theories claim. But for believers in sacred geometry, the angel's measurements are the divine mathematics of God, a sacred language of form that structures all existence. Section 3. Echoes of lost technology, but there's another far more radical interpretation. What if these divine measurements weren't just spiritual symbols, but literal, technical specifications? What if the angel wasn't a mystic, but an engineer? This rabbit hole leads us straight into the controversial world of ancient astronaut theory. Proponents argue that many ancient myths aren't just stories, but misunderstood accounts of encounters with advanced extraterrestrial beings. The Book of Enoch is a cornerstone of this theory. It describes a group of angels called the Watchers, who came down to Earth, took human wives, and had children known as the Nephilim, a race of giants who filled the world with violence. But the Watchers did more than that. According to the text, they taught humanity forbidden arts. An angel named Azazel taught how to make swords, knives, and shields. Others taught the signs of the earth and revealed the secrets of the sun, moon, and stars. In other words, astronomy and celestial navigation. Mainstream history sees these as myths explaining the origins of culture, like metallurgy and warfare. But what if they were more? Could the forbidden arts have been a transfer of advanced technology? Could the angel's measuring rod have been a sophisticated surveying tool using light or sound? Were the cosmic maps Enoch described not just spiritual visions, but something like satellite imagery of a planetary grid system? While there's no credible archaeological evidence to support any of this, the questions these texts raise are hard to shake. Conventional archaeology shows that ancient wonders were built with sophisticated methods like ramps and levers, a true testament to human ingenuity. Yet theories of lost technology persist because texts like the Book of Enoch describe knowledge that seems way ahead of its time. The book paints a picture of beings who understood metallurgy, astronomy, and the laws of the universe. Beings who measured and mapped the cosmos with divine precision. So, was the angel's mission to lay out a spiritual blueprint for creation, or was it to survey a physical project with tools we've long since forgotten? The text is symbolic, but the possibility it hints at, that our world was built with technology we can no longer comprehend, is a powerful and unsettling thought. Conclusion. So who was the measuring angel of the Book of Enoch? We're left with two incredible competing ideas. On one hand, he's a divine architect, a keeper of sacred geometry who reveals the spiritual harmony of the universe. His measurements are a mystical key to understanding our place in a perfectly ordered cosmos. On the other hand, he could be seen as an ancient scientist, a cosmic surveyor armed with knowledge far beyond our own. In this view, his measurements aren't symbolic, but technical data, the blueprints of a lost, high-tech civilization that may have helped shape our world. The Book of Enoch, with its language of vision and prophecy, doesn't give us a clear answer. Whether its angels were revealing a divine science or a forgotten physical one remains a profound mystery. But the questions they inspire challenge us to look at our ancient past with new eyes. Were these beings divine architects, showing us the spiritual framework of reality? Or were they ancient scientists, whose work is just waiting to be rediscovered? The blueprints are still there, hidden in the pages of forbidden books, waiting for someone to finally decipher them. If you found this dive into forbidden knowledge as fascinating as we did, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation. What do you think the angels' measurements really were? A sacred blueprint or a forgotten technology? Let us know your theories in the comments below.